All right. Back at it. Let me see. Here it is. First time. All right. Jesus, what is going on? I already did this and it's making me do it again. Okay. So yesterday, the Podbean went out a couple of times. So I'm hoping that it doesn't do it again today. But this one's going to be a lot shorter. The one that I did yesterday. Okay, I have 2 pages worth of content. So maybe this one won't be as short. We're going to see, though. We're going to see. Because I might be saying the same thing twice. I didn't even realize I had written this first page, honestly. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think this is the page that I'm going to stick with. Because this is all just... Okay, yeah. That's the page that I'm going to use. All right. Oh, God. I don't know. Lord, okay. I'm ready now. Let's do it. I'm trying to keep my shirt covered up, but it's not gonna. It is what it is. All right. Coming to you live from Music City, USA, aka Nashville, Tennessee. This is the ALLAnal podcast with Sebastian Starr. I am your host, Sebastian Starr. And this is another long overdue episode that honestly should have been done months ago. This time, we're revisiting, rediscussing, re-talking about the early 2000s group B5 and their new EP, Still Think About You. Now, this EP dropped, I want to say New Year's Day. Like I said, I follow all of them on social media accounts, Instagram, whatever. And they promoted it like crazy toward the end of last year. And after their tour finished last year, they pushed, new EP drop coming soon, all that stuff. So I'm pretty sure it came out on New Year's Day. I'm still, as a matter of fact, I'm looking at it right now. It actually did come out on New Year's Day. Now, the interesting thing about this EP, first of all, is just an EP, not an album. It's only 6 tracks long. Ultimate teaser, if you ask me, because they definitely could have made a full-length album out of this and added maybe 3 or 4 more songs to it, whatever. But I think, first of all, it's very, very cleverly presented. So Still Think About You is the name of the EP, but the acronym that they use for that is STAY, which I don't know why. I just think that's kind of cute. Second thing, if you remember B5 or not, they were, the 2005 boy band, kind of reintroduction of like the Jackson 5 inspired R&B group. They're all brothers, they're all related, they're all family, they're all together all the time. And they just make really good music together. A lot of people, I feel like, have forgotten that these guys exist, but also their fan base is still pretty, like the people who remember. Like the people who get it. It's one of those type of situations. It's a if you know type thing. So obviously after the tour, I've already talked about that. I've already done a couple of episodes about that. The tour was absolutely crazy and they still, go out and do shows every once in a while. But when this EP dropped, it was very much like kind of diving back into the music industry. And I know over time they've kind of spoken up about how they felt not necessarily rejected by the industry, but more so just like placed on the back burner and kind of forgotten about by the industry. So now that they're working with this new team called The Exclusives, who, you know, co-produced and everything else with this EP, it's kind of beaming the spotlight back into their direction. And of course, they still kind of do their own things individually. Each of them has their own lives, their own families, their own things that they kind of focus on. But when they come together as a group, this is what they do, and they do it very, very well. So, again, it's a very, very short EP, 6 tracks long. The first track, Still Think About You / Straight Up, is pretty straightforward. It's not too complex. Nothing about the album itself, or nothing about the EP itself, is very complicated. It's very, very simple. Now, what I mean by that is you have to keep in mind that this is an R&B group. An R&B group is a very rare thing. I feel like nowadays, most R&B acts are solo acts, and they are, you know, either alternative or they try to razzle dazzle in the realm of R&B and do all of these excessive things that kind of takes away the traditional sound that R&B has. The only people who still do like traditional R&B would be like Chris Brown, Usher, and maybe Trey Songz, if Trey Songz is even still relevant. And then you also have like Omarion coming back for the Millennials tour for whatever reason. And that's more nostalgic because he's not making new music, you know what I mean? And it's more so just like lingering on to the past, not necessarily moving forward in the future. And I think when it comes to B5, they've definitely moved forward into the future because, you know, when you remember them, they're like these little boys and like these preteens and teenagers who talk about, you know, crushes and falling in love for the first time and things like that. Things that little kids talk about. But now they're all like full-grown adults and they talk about things that full-grown adults talk about. So, which brings me back to the first song, Still Think About You. It's very much so like reminiscing on your ex type of situation, which a lot of the songs, 2 or 3 of them are like that. You know what I mean? So I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it at all. I ain't saying nothing about it. But again, it's traditional R&B, and you don't really get a lot of traditional R&B, especially new R&B that sounds like nostalgic R&B from a group. Multiple people singing in harmony at once. You're not really getting that nowadays. And obviously I'm biased. Sue me. Obviously I'm biased, so I'm gonna vouch for it, but it's a good EP. So for the first song, Still Think About You, the first verse, know it's been a while since we met like this. Been a minute since I felt your kiss. I ain't afraid to admit, lately I've been reminiscing. So hard to forget you in my arms. You would lay there for hours. Top of the morning, we'd meet in the shower. Remember how wet you would get. You said it was the best that exists. That sounds like and feels like 90s and 2000s R&B. Now, what's good about that is that it's not 90s and 2000s R&B. So you get that nostalgic sound, that nostalgic feel, those nostalgic lyrics of, you know, being with someone that you know you can't have. You know what I mean? It does something to your psyche, I feel like, personally. The second verse of the first song is, if memory serves me correctly, girl, we were in love once, and that just doesn't go away. Touching you in public, girl, you used to love it. Every time I hit your line, you used to come and bust it. I'm sorry. Every time I hit your line, you used to come and bust it. Baby, we really used to drive each other crazy. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to laugh. It's not funny. It just makes me laugh. It makes me blush. Let me say that. I'm blushing. And that's kind of the point, right? You want to feel like, oh my God. And that's the whole idea. Now, obviously, if you are a longtime fan of theirs, then you would feel I don't want to say squeamish. Squeamish is like when you feel sick. Flattered in a sense that it's like, oh my God. And that's the whole point. That's what they're really trying to deliver. And I think that they've done a pretty good job at that. Now, this is just the first song on the EP. Again, the Exclusives produced it. They kind of came together and collaborated with them. on it. And again, it's 6 tracks, so we're just going to go straight through with each one. Now, that's track number 1, Still Think About You. Now, thinking about the acronym, I just call this album Stay. I call the song Stay, and it's just, that's just what I call it, but that's not what it's called. So if you're looking for it, it's called Still Think About You. Now, track number 2 is called Spooky. This was the first single from the EP that dropped last year. As a matter of fact, when my cousins and I, by the way, it's my cousin's birthday today. Shout out to Chelsea. She's turning 29. When we went to the show last year together, the 3 of us went, and then I had the 2 of them on my podcast last year to talk about it after the fact. When we went to the show, they didn't perform this song, but the announcer guy was like, hey, have y'all heard that new single from B5? It's called Spooky. And I knew that it was out. I knew that it was streaming. I just hadn't gotten around to listening to it yet, so they played it for us at the venue. And it made me laugh because it's like, bro, who the hell wrote this? It's a good song. I'm not even gonna hold you. And it's one of my favorites. It's really good because I feel like it speaks to me personally. Because I'm always talking about, oh, I'm really into spooky shit. I love spooky shit. And I do love spooky shit. But the song makes me laugh. The pre-chorus in particular, which I'm finna get to. I'm gonna do the whole thing. Because it's not that long. The songs aren't that long, really. I'm getting distracted. The song, it just sounds so silly, but it sounds good. It sounds good. The music is very spooky. It has this kind of eerie undertone to it. That's not like Thriller from Michael Jackson, but more so just like somebody's watching me. You know what I mean? It has that kind of unsettling bass and tone to it, but then the vocals come in and they're very like rugged and dry and gritty. And then of course the lyrics kind of set the tone for this spooky sounding song. But it's really, the song itself is about flattering a woman that, hold on. And I'm about to tell you why I'm laughing because it just makes me laugh. So the first verse, chills all over my body. Look what you done started. Serving up all that body, afraid of what it makes me want to do. I'm sorry. For the way you might catch me staring, cause you're so cold, it's scary. How bad I want you, girl. Very, very bad girl. You're a bad girl. And it's hold on. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep it together. The pre-chorus, which again is my favorite part. You must got a spell on me because I can't see nobody else. And when I'm around you, it's like I just can't control myself. Heard you left a trail of hearts and vanished like a ghost. Hope that I'm the exception because I just can't let you go. Now, I like that. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. It speaks to me on a personal level. And then we get to the chorus, which is why I keep laughing because every time I hear it, I can't make myself take it seriously. These motherfuckers said, loving the way you moving, like you know what you're doing. Body language, you're fluent, and it do something to me. Cause you're so bad, it's spooky. You're so bad, it's spooky. What the fuck does that mean? You're so bad, it's spooky? Like, and the only interpretation that I can make, and it's not even valid, I'm just giving you my 2 cents. The only interpretation that I can make, coming from a guy's perspective, you see somebody who has this aura, this very specific aura about them. You can't really explain it. You can't really make it make sense. It's very attractive, but the way that they are presenting themselves initially comes off as intimidating, frightful, if you will. And there's this kind of, rugged edginess about that person with that specific aura that is tempting and terrifying at the same time. It's like when you walk up to a haunted house attraction and you're really, 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 really scared to go inside of it, but you do it anyway because your curiosity is just burning a hole in your brain. And it's like, I just have to figure out, I gotta know what's in there. And it's that curiosity that scares you into, backpedaling out of the situation. But that aura is what keeps reeling you in every single time. And that is the only interpretation. That is the only interpretation that I can make sense about this song. And it makes me laugh when I hear it because it's like, what the hell are you talking about? You're so bad it's spooky? Like, what? me laugh. It just makes me laugh. Because the other two songs that I'm about to get into are so good. They're so fucking good. This is what they chose to release. This was their first single off of this EP. Was this song right here. And again, it's not a bad song. It's kind of silly and it makes me laugh. But I digress. The next song, which is probably my favorite, and this one right here, if you like sexy R&B, hold on one second, I gotta drink my water. If you like sexy R&B, this one right here is the go-to for sure. So the music, and first of all, the song is called Nervous, which I love the name of that, right? Because you get yourself, when you think about them as individuals, you think about them one at a time. You ain't gang banging. You know what I mean? You're not taking out all five at once. That's an impossibility. But if you think about them on an individual scale, you're the fangirl of the boy band, and you have your favorite. You pick your favorite one out. Now imagine a scenario where you get an opportunity to be alone with them, and most women will be like, "Oh man, if so and so tell me to, I'm dropping my panties to the floor." Be realistic. Be fucking for real. These guys have been doing this for over 20 years. They have maintained enough status with their fan base to keep that relevance, keep the blood pumping into it. You know who they are, and they got you by yourself. Everything is consent. Everything is 100% consent. You're not being peer pressured into doing anything. But be fucking for real. What do you think you're going to do? Because you're not just going to drop. You're not going to just drop it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to freak out a little bit because you're feeding your inner child, that inner 13, 14, 15-year-old who were watching these guys when they were 13, 14, 15 years old, and thinking to yourself in the midst of your, hormonal journey as a young and horny teenager, oh my God, the things that I would do. But you're not really going to do it because you're 13 years old. But now you're in your 30s. And your brain is like, oh my gosh, you're going to start freaking out. I mean, and just be for real. Just be for real for a second. It's not going to go as smoothly as you think. I promise you it's not. So this song speaks to that fangirl of 20 plus years who's been sticking around with them to see how things kind of transpire. And now that they're in that grown and sexy era of their lives, they want you to join in on the fun. So the first verse of this beautiful ass song, you got that look in your eye like you want to get something started. Hop in the whip, then we slide to the crib for the after party. There ain't no reason to be acting shy if this is what you wanted. I ain't the guy that's going to feed you lies so I can push up on it. So again, we're not peer pressuring nobody. I'm not going to sit here and paint you no picture. This ain't no fairy tale type of situation. I'm willing to make all of your dreams come true. But I need to know that you agree to this, that you're okay with this, that you're aware about what's about to happen. And just let me take control for just a minute. I promise you I'll make it worth your while. The pre-chorus. Straight up. I'm trying to fuck with you. Straight up. Say that you heard. I'm a player. Truth is, it's not my intention to play you. So if it's cool, just say yeah. Because I need to know you're certain before I put this work in. I don't need you saying that you're nervous. So you either know or you don't. There is no in between. There is no back and forth. There is no, I don't know. This might not be a good look. We're all grown. We're all adults. We are all consenting adults. We are all partially sober adults. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It depends on what your preference is. Let's cut the bullshit. Let's get down to some grown folks type of conversation. It's either you want to or you don't. It's either a yes or a no. It's very cut and dry, very straightforward. You don't have to be afraid of me. I don't want to make you nervous. I'm not trying to make you nervous. You don't have to be afraid of me. Just tell me what you want me to do, and I will do that for you. My favor to you. Very cut and dry. Here we are. Let's move on to the second verse. Okay, the second verse. Palm sweating, got the roof spinning, and your legs shaking. I'm trying to relax you like a chiropractor, have your back breaking. Baby, this ain't nothing to be scared of, just some love making. Come and catch a vibe till I have you vibrating. No cap. And I'm just like, what the hell? And I'm pretty sure, I don't know I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't even know whose verse that was. I have an idea. I could be wrong. I have an idea. But that is very much like grown man behavior. It's grown man talk. It's grown man situations and circumstances. We are not little boys anymore. So come correct. Let me know what you're trying to do. Let's do it. And let's just go from there. Like, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. So you can go back and forth and bicker with yourself all you want to. You ain't got to worry about that with me. I'm not tripping off of it. Now, we're moving on to the third. Not the third. I'm sorry, that was the third. We're moving on to the fourth track of the EP, which is another one of my favorite songs. And this song is even freakier than the song before it. This song is called Deep. And it's very fast paced. It moves. It doesn't move quickly. They sing very quickly. The music is very quick. Like the tempo is, that's probably a little too fast, but the tempo is up. So you come from Nervous, which is a very slow and mellow and groovy and sensual type of music. And they're singing very passionately, very gracefully, very elegantly, But then you get to Deep and it's just like, okay, let's get down to it. Let's go. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do it. So the first verse for Deep: when you come in the room, all I can see is you. Staring in my eyes, girl, you've been watching me too. Running out of time, so what you trying to do? I'm trying to creep in, put on something see-through. Pre-chorus: now that we're here in the same room, there's really only one thing to decide. Will you be playing hard to get tonight? I'll pull those panties over to the side. Let me slide through. Choice is yours. It's your move. No need to be afraid to take a shot, because I'm going to give you everything I got. All that I got. And then I'm going to go right into the chorus, because it ties all into each other very well. The chorus goes: now that you've got me where you want me, say the word and let me fall off in the deep. I won't stop until you tell me that you're weak. Now it's time for you to show me you're a freak. Because I got you where I want you, screaming, begging me to give you something deep. Girl, that's what you're here for. Hold on. He said, girl, that's what you're here for. Say you want to make it disappear more. Baby, that's deep. I said, God dang it. Damn, that is deep. And I'm not trying to say anything, but that might be my favorite line of the song. Say you want to make it disappear more? Because, like, what are we trying to do? Exactly. We get the concept. We get the idea. We get the general gist of this freaky deaky ass song. I get it. Sure. But that could mean anything. That could mean, and use your imagination here, SpongeBob. That could mean anything. Anything. And I think the partial point of that is to use your imagination a little bit to kind of idealize what they could or couldn't be talking about. And again, it could be anything. It could mean anything. And I'm not trying to use my own interpretations on what I think that line means particularly, but I'm going to use my imagination to myself and just be like, okay, that's what you're talking about. That song is very, very freaky. But again, it moves very quickly. The lyrics go by. Once it's gone, it's gone. You really have to be paying attention to what's being said, or you're going to miss something. And I mean, it's not like, again, it's just sexy R&B music. And there's nothing wrong with traditional sounding sexy R&B music. And that's very much so what that is. But you also have to keep in mind, you got 5 guys singing on a song together. They got to make room, so things move quickly sometimes. And now they're all at an age where, their singing voices kind of not blur together, but they all sound more alike now than they did when they first came out, because that huge age gap between Dustin and Brian, for example, Dustin being the oldest, Brian being the youngest. When they first came out, his voice was already pretty developed. He was like in his mid to late teens when, I was going to say, You Got Me, Lord. When All I Do came out. So his voice pretty much stays the same. Patrick's voice pretty much has stayed the same. Kelly, who doesn't sing that often but raps primarily, his rapping voice pretty much has stayed the same. But his singing voice has gotten a lot deeper and it's a lot more profound, and he does it a lot more. Cornell and Brian's voices have changed dramatically. They've matured, obviously. They've grown into their voices, their adult voices, and they just sound very, very different than how they did when they were children. So now, when I listen to this EP, and I've been listening to it pretty frequently, and it's been in my rotation for the past couple of months, it's, to me, I feel like Dustin's voice and Carnell's voice share a similar cadence to where they're both pretty low and they both have a decent amount of range where they can go up higher if they want to, but they mainly stay kind of in the middle, where Patrick and Brian's voices kind of stay in the middle, but they range higher. They can sing at a higher falsetto, a higher key. They have a bit more of a higher range. And then, of course, Kelly's at the bottom. So it's really kind of hard to point out who's who unless you've really been listening to them for a while. And I got 3 more songs that are not on this EP that I want to talk about that kind of help put that in perspective. But we got the 5th song on the EP. This is my least favorite. And honestly, the only reason why is because of the chorus. I'm just not crazy about the chorus because they're just making noise. They're not really saying anything. And again, it just sounds really, really silly. Now, the lyrics to this, first of all, it's called Ooh Ah, which is another reason why I don't like it. Because it's like, bro, who wrote this for you? And why did they call it that? So again, I'm not crazy about this song. It's a good song. And I'm just not. It is what it is. But anyway, so the first verse of this song goes, I know you're my ex, but I want to make love like we used to. Girl, flex, time to have sex like we used to. And it's just, I know you still got love for me, so let me hear you. Tell me what it's going to be. If you want to slide through, all you got to do is make a move. I want something that I know that I can't have. I'm in a situationship thing where it's like, I'm not desperate for just having sex with somebody. It's you in particular that I'm trying to be intimate with. And I know that we can't, but it wouldn't kill me to ask. You know what I mean? At the very least, I'm just like, okay, it's 2:30 in the morning. What are you doing? It's like a you up text. And maybe that's another reason why I'm not crazy about it. The second verse, I know you're my ex, but I want to get down in the bedroom with you. Girl, I must confess, it was always the best with you. I know it's been a long time since but I remember, girl, you used to be a freak. Do you want to slide through? All you got to do is make a move. And again, it's just, hey man, what's going on? You know, it's been a minute and I'm just trying to see what you got going on. And maybe another reason, why I really don't like it is if you called me at like 1 o'clock, 1:45 in the morning. First of all, I'm asleep. So what the hell do you want? Second of all, if you hit me with, I know it's been a long time, but maybe I'm going to cuss you out. And I'm going to hang up the phone. And then I'm going to block your number. And then I'm going to call the police. Because this is harassment. Like, leave me alone. If I'm done, then I'm done. Don't call me on I know it's been a long time. I'm going to hang up the phone. I'm hanging up the phone. If you text me, I'm going to screenshot the text messages, then delete the text messages, and then block your number. And then I'm going to send the text message thread to my girlfriend's group so we can all laugh at you. I've done it before and I'll do it again. Like, don't hit me with that bullshit. Don't come at me sideways like that, because I promise you I will talk crazy to you in a heartbeat, and then I will leave your goofy ass on red. Like, I don't care. So maybe that's a real reason why I'm just not crazy about this song like that. It don't matter to me. I don't care. Anyway, the last song on the EP is Lose Your Love. Now, this is actually a cover from like that 80s song. And I knew when they dropped the EP, I said to myself, okay, we're going to get a couple of songs like this. We're going to get a couple of songs like that. But they always do a cover of something. And every time they do a cover of something, it's always in, not a cappella, but they're always in harmony with each other. That's when all 5 of them really sing at the exact same time. And I thought to myself, listening to it, because I skipped this song at first. I was like, bro, what the hell is this song from the 80s? I'm not going to listen to this. But this was the song. And I don't know how I knew, but this was the song. They did it on all of their other albums. They did it on any other line of work. That's how they pretty much made a name for themselves, was doing a cover to a very classic traditional song that everybody recognized. So it's no surprise that they did it again. And then even when I think about their Don't Talk, Just Listen album, their sophomore album, they did a all acapella song in that. And that was beautiful. And I said to myself, they got to do this again. Because one thing that they do very, very well is they harmonize very, very well with each other. They know how to make their voices sound good while they're standing next to somebody else. And I've seen their acapella videos. I've seen their harmony videos. I've seen them sing no music, just raw vocals. And it is a graceful experience to just have going on. So I knew it was coming, but again, I skipped this song when the EP first dropped because it's just like, bro, this is a cover from that song from the 80s. It's that I don't want to lose your love. It's that song. They're doing that. But they transformed it completely into this elegant ass, soulful ass, sweet ass R&B song. And I thought to myself, out of all the songs that they could have covered, why did they pick this one? Like, it's a good song, but when you hear the original song, it's very like heavily like disco-fied, and it's very much like grungy 80s rock. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not really listening to that and thinking, oh, this will sound great as a R&B song sung in a 5-part acapella by, 5 niggas from Atlanta. Like, you're not thinking that when you hear it. So I'm just curious as to why they chose this one, but I'm also like, they did a really good job with it. You know what I mean? It sounds good. It sounds really, really good. Beyond my own perspective and expectations of what I thought this song was going to be when they first released it on the EP, I was just like, but I'm listening to it now. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, I get it now. It makes sense. I understand. So that's pretty much the entire EP in a nutshell. Now, what I'm going to do very, very quickly is talk about these 3 songs that they came out with, kind of building up to the EP. So the first one is called Wave. This song came out back in 2019. And I remember when it first came out, because again, I was following them on social media. So whenever they posted about it or talked about it, I was like, okay, they got a new music out. I want to hear it. This was my shit for like a strong 2 years. It was like my song of the summer for like a year and a half, honestly. And it still kind of is, low key. So it's another, and it's kind of one of the first bricks into their maturity. When you think about B5, you used to think about, the little boys. This was one of the first songs. So again, it came out in 2019. So they're all full-fledged adults at this point. And it's like, okay, let's talk about some sexy shit. And it's just about gawking at girls. That's it. That's the whole song. Is just gawking at girls. So the first verse, I'm sorry, I keep laughing because I can't take it seriously. The first verse, and it's Dustin. I got the lyrics pulled up. Again, this is genius.com I'm using for the lyrics. He said, she just want to twerk and call me daddy. That's the first verse of the song. She just want to twerk and call me daddy. She said that she want me to come and taste her cotton candy. Oh my God. I love this song. And it sounds so good, but I can't, it makes me laugh. I'm sorry. And then I think about it. When we went to the show last year, I got every single song, at least a couple of seconds of every single song, but this one, and this was like my shit. You know what I mean? Like, but thankfully I found the video a couple of days later on Instagram and I saved it. I was like, okay, I got it. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep it together. The first verse, Dustin comes in and he says, she just want to twerk and call me daddy. She said that she want me to come and taste her cotton candy. I had to get them panties. She just love a real one because she knows I'm so demanding. And then Brian comes in with the hook. He says, I'm the one that she comes to in the night. I'm the one that she knows gonna do it right. Working the frame, girl, I'm losing my mind. Feeling the same way when you wind it from behind. And then Carnell comes in and says, she the one with the thriller. Yeah, I'ma keep it realer. Top heavy, how you figure. Body wavy, had to steal her. Yeah, we go into the morning, mind gone, blowing O's in her face. She gonna give it to me so damn good, I don't know what to say. Now, honestly, I think Carnell's part is probably my favorite part of this song in particular, because it's the way that he says, yeah, we're going to the morning, mind gone, blowing O's in her face. She gonna give it to me so damn good, I don't know what to say. Now, this is a song that I use to really help me, pinpoint who's singing in what song moving forward, because I already know who's singing in this song. Again, this song is old as hell. I've heard it a million times. I've seen the videos. I know who's singing what part. So it kind of helps when you hear it. And again, their voices haven't changed much from this point to the current present day point. So it kind of helps to use that as a chart to figure out who's doing what. And then we got to get to Patrick's part. Hold on. I got to get to Patrick's part. So Patrick has verse 2. He comes in, every time I hit, she called me daddy. Put them legs around my head. You know I like it nasty. Love it when I hit it from the back. It gets so splashy. Freaky little thing, but know that she gonna keep it classy. It makes me, I can't do it. And then the chorus and the pre-chorus and everything repeats. And then we get to Kelly's verse at the very, very end. He's rapping, of course. He said, "Yee me, never heard no drip like this. My shit hit, yo shit miss. She looking for a nigga could spit like this. She asked why I have no ice on wrist. I did, but it made a wave so big. Love to watch him surf on it. Flood the world like Genesis. Might make him call the church on it. We could peel out in a wave coat real fast. We could do laps and we can see who will last. Turn up loud with the smoke on blast. Yeah, they ride the wave because the wave on smash." It's a good song. I'm doing a lot of laughing and giggling because again, I'm fangirling. I'm idolizing. I'm infatuated. You know what I mean? And it's nothing personal. It's just this giddy, giggly, oh my gosh feeling reaction when you get to listening to music by your favorite artist. And it happens all the time with me, especially because I just have issues. But that was Wave, and that was from 2019. Now, another song, this is probably going to be the last one that I do. This one came out, just a little bit before the EP dropped. And it's called Give It Back. Now, this is probably I keep saying, oh, this is my favorite song. This one is probably my favorite song for real. Like, I say that a lot, but it is. And I love the song. I love the video. I love the aesthetic that comes with it. And it feels like more of a dance, Like, you can really move around a little bit to a song like this. And it's cool because you don't really get a lot of dance music from R&B artists either. And I'm not going to keep talking about Chris Brown. I'm not going to keep talking about Chris Brown because we've already talked about Chris Brown enough. But when it comes to music that has versatility, right? You want to be able to listen to a song by your favorite artist that you can dance to, that you can cry to, that you can bump uglies to. You know what I mean? You want to be able to do a little bit of everything with a song from your favorite artist. That's how you keep them in relevancy. And oh my God, the song came out on my birthday last year. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to keep it together. I'm going to have to maintain my professionalism. Okay, so this is Give It Back. I had to do a little clickety-clacking to get the lyrics pulled up. Okay, the first verse. It's just me and you together. I like when I touch your body. She says she wanted me forever. She's where she want to be. She wants every part of me. So I'm falling in love, right? I'm infatuated by this person that I've met. And, she's feeling me too. And it's a mutual thing. We're having fun together. We get along very well. The vibe is right. The auras is good. The energy is sparking. Everything is working out the way it's supposed to. Pre-chorus. If you take my heart, you take my life from me. That's not right. No, that's not right. She took my heart from me. That's right. That's not right. No, that's not right. Just give it back from me. Just give it back to me. I'm sorry. You stole my heart from me. You took your love from me. No, that ain't right, girl. That ain't right. Just give it back to me. You stole my heart from me. You took your love from me. No, that ain't right, girl. That ain't right. So now we're in a bit of a tiff. You know what I mean? Now we've kind of lost the spark. We're kind of backpedaling a little bit. So you, in your head, are like, fuck this, I'm out. And then you leave. But you took a piece of me with you when you did that. You took my whole heart. You took my whole life when you walked out the door. And I'm not going to ask you to come back to me. I just want you to return the favor. You know what I mean? If you're going to leave, then just take you. Don't take me with you. And that's more so of a bonding type of terminology when you speak of how you've connected with somebody, maybe physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. When they're gone out of your life, you feel like everything in your life is falling apart around you. And that's kind of where we're at with it. Now, ironically, the music, again, is very dancey. You can really do your thing with it and kind of get groovy at the same time. But they're talking about like heartache and devastation and loss. And it's just like, damn. The second verse, it's just me and you together, and that's enough for me. But you got to show me why you want it all. Otherwise, baby, I can't get involved. You tell me you want me forever. I can give a little. I can't give my all. Now, here we are in the recovery form. All right. We've already loved and lost. We've already, met that devastation. That's over with. It's done. We can't do anything else about that. That's it. Now you're reintroducing yourself to somebody new, and you have to explain to them, look, man, I know you want to be fully invested with me. I'm trying to be fully invested with you, but you need to understand that where I'm coming from is a place of damage and devastation. So you're going to have to be a little bit patient with me. You're going to have to really work with me. You're going to have to let me find myself again with losing myself previously. I can't give you everything because I'm a little worried that the cycle's going to just keep repeating. You know what I mean? You got to be patient. Just, you know what I mean? Just take it slow with me. You know what I'm saying? And then the pre-chorus and the chorus just repeat. Now, another reason why I think I really like this song is, again, the music is good. The lyrics are great. And you can really get a sense of who's doing what. Their voices are very distinct in this song. You know who's singing what, and you know where they're coming in at. And the video helps. And the video is very aesthetically pleasing. It's very colorful. Again, this is a very bright and beautiful song, but the lyrics are very, delicate, intricate, and vulnerable. I want to be able to submit to you completely and fully, but the last time I did that, I kind of got fucked over. So just be careful. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of songs like that exist in the realm of R&B, outside the realm of R&B. Not a lot of them feel like songs you want to get up and dance to, which they do have those contradicting songs that are lyrically very, very sad or very, very upsetting or very, very devastating. But the music is like, yeah, we're still having a party. And it's just like backwards. I think that's the last. Well, fuck it. Let's do one more. We got one more. I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to be done for real. I promise I'm going to be done for real after this. So the last song that I'm going to do, again, it is not new. It's not new at all. It's pretty old. It's called Say Yes. And it's another really, really good song that came out a couple of years ago. It actually came out in 2013. So this was another, as a matter of fact, this song came out right after an experimental era with B5. They kind of took a sharp right into uncharted pop music territory, and they refer to themselves as audio. And this was a hot minute of them doing this type of pop music. And it wasn't super duper bad. It was just very, very different. So they did that for a hot minute, and then they came back like a year or so later and they released this. This song is a prime example of just how good the five of them can sing when they sing together. It's a very heavily harmonic song, and I heard the a cappella version with the acoustic guitar, and it's just like butter. You know what I mean? It's just smooth, and it's clean, pristine, and it's just so nice. The lyrics to this beautiful ass song are, if I was in love, just say if I was, would you love me back, girl? And just because I got a light that brightens my night, would you say that you were that girl? No, I don't want to be a one-time thriller, writing up the stars, I'm going to make you feel it. And who says forever is just a word? It's something you're worth, and I want to give you that girl. And I want you to say yes, and I'm going to say yes. And I want you to say yes, and I'm going to say yes. And they keep going back and forth like that, and then the chorus comes in. I'ma lay it on the line if you say yes. I promise I'ma keep your heart right in mine. Won't go nowhere. Come on and say you do. Say it. Say yes, you do. And baby girl, I want you to be mine. So just say yes. Now, it took me a really long time, longer than I'm willing to admit, that this song is about getting married. This song is about being proposed to. This song is about getting down on one knee and giving yourself to somebody and hoping and praying and pleading with them that not only do they feel the same way mutually, but that they will agree to spend the rest of their lives with you. And the lines that give that away, obviously, I'm going to lay it on the line if you say yes, Promise to keep your heart right in mind. Come on and say you do. You know what I mean? Say you do. Say you do. Say yes. And it's just like, that's the whole song. Is admitting your infatuation and love for somebody that's so unconditional, that's so, overwhelming, so unlimited, that all you want is to spend the rest of your life with that person. So you ask them to marry you and you hope that they just say yes. And it's cute. It's cute. I like it. It's a good song. It's a good song. Now, I think as far as... No, that's it. I don't want to do no more. Because I could keep going. I could keep going for hours. Their discography isn't a lot, but I have a lot to say about it. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Using those 3 songs, particularly Give It Back, Wave, and Say Yes, to kind of pinpoint who's doing what as far as their harmonies go, as far as their differences in their voices and what they sound like on their own. And then when they come together, it's like getting together ingredients for like a pie or a stew. You have your starch, you have your veggies, you have your broth, you have your seasoning, and you got the little extra something special that you kind of just sprinkle in to make it come together. And that's kind of a weird way to look at it, but that's a pretty good analogy as far as how they can all sound so different individually and sound so perfect when they come together at the same time. So there's that whole interpretation on B5's, not just their EP, Still Think About You, but a couple of songs from the last 10 years or so that help, guide them into this new, not new, it's not new. This isn't anything new to them. They've been doing this for, like I said, over 20 years. So very much familiar industry. So once again, I'd like to thank everybody who decided to tune in for me this morning. I absolutely appreciate it. And until next time, I will speak to you all later.